Right, hello, welcome back once again. It is that time of the year where I fail at predicting the Premier League. Now, the date today is the 21st of August. It is 9:16 in the morning. Yes, the season starts today. It starts tonight. Championship winners Coventry take on the champions Arsenal. As much as I hate Arsenal, fair play, they did very well last year. Now, I actually did predictions last year as well, but I never actually uploaded it. And I'm kind of glad I never uploaded it because in the years I've done it, it's by far the worst thing I've ever done in my life. But I'll try and compare just so you get a rough estimate. But what I will say, last season I did not get a single place right. Literally not one. So, yeah. Anyway, right. Without further ado, let's begin. Who do I think is going to win the Premier League? But we're not going to get into that yet. We're going to start off with 20 players. Now, look. I always say this every single season. I hate predicting the relegation teams. Well, it's more of that I don't hate putting the relegation teams. I hate putting the promoted teams in the relegation spot. I always want the promoted teams to do it. And I honestly think this season is one of my favourite group of promoted teams ever. It's not your standard bunch, you know. Coventry, Ipswich, Hull. I know Ipswich here a couple of years ago, but it's great to have them back in the scene. But who do I think is going to finish last place? Just like everyone, Hull City. I'm sorry, but I'm not someone who likes looking at stats. Don't like looking at expected goals, expected points. Hull City were 22nd in the Championship for that. If expected, they should have been relegated to League One. The fact that they got to the Premier League is such an amazing achievement, and, well, in fairness, they deserve it, because, you know, the whole mess in the playoffs with who are they going to play? Are they going to play Southampton? Are they going to play Middlesbrough? They didn't know until 3 days before the game. And they won that final deservedly. I mean, they were the better team. But just, I don't know. Just to quickly clarify as well, I made these predictions about a week ago, and I'm only now just recording the thing for it. But I'm not going to change it. It'll be a man of my word for the time. But their signings, you know, Jack Butland, Matt Targett, I mean, look, they're proven Premier League players. But, really? That's who you're relying on? I mean, I love the signing of Oscar Zambrano. I think that's a fantastic signing. Although I'm now looking at a bit more of it now. They got Joe Gelhardt. They got a few guys from like Tromsø, Olympiacos, Rayo Vallecano. Okay, you know what? They have made some decent signings that I'm seeing now. But I still don't think it's enough. Like I said, they shouldn't have got promoted last season, but they did. So I'm sorry, Hull City. You're finishing last place. I'd love for you to be higher, but that's where you're going to be. But following into 19th place, we have another one of the fellow promoted sides. And yes, it's Ipswich Town. Again, I love Ipswich. I love them to bits. I just think the loss of Kieran McKenna is going to be too costly. I mean, again, it's fantastic that they've bounced straight back up from the Championship to the Premier League, but just, I don't know, the confidence I have in them under their new manager, it's not great. I mean, they've had some great preseason results, some very good preseason results, and, you know, they've made a few decent signings. Julio Enciso is signed permanently now. They've got a nice bit of young talent. I like the signing of Abdul Fatawi from Leicester. That's also a really good one. But just, yeah, I'm sorry. I just do not see it happening. 18th place. Now, there are two predictions I've made that I think are very, what the hell are you thinking? Like, why? Why have you done this? This is one of them. You probably think I'm going to say Coventry City. No. I think Coventry are going to survive. And the team that I think is going to get relegated is Crystal Palace. So, Hear me out. Again, very, very, very bold and controversial take. Palace's last win in the Premier League was match day 32 in mid-April against a very depleted Newcastle side who had lost everything. Before that, it was early March against Tottenham, and we all know what Tottenham were like last season. Yes, they won the Conference League. Absolutely fantastic. Love that for them. But they've now lost Glasner. The board was not willing to back him, and he's gone to Nottingham Forest. Heartbreaking, especially with what happened last summer as well between those two. And not only have they lost him, the signings they've made, my God. I feel like they want to get relegated. I mean, Dwight McNeil is a great signing for the Premier League. It looks like they're going to be getting Axel Disasi, as I've seen this morning, on loan from Chelsea. But the other signings are a bit too young. And they've got Oscar Mingueza on a free transfer and Tomiyasu. But just, I don't know. They've lost Lacroix. Johnson, that was a disastrous signing. I don't know. It's a bold shout. Like I said, it's a very bold shout. But Palace, I'm so sorry. I don't see you staying up. I really do not see you staying up this season. And as well, they've got the Europa League to play, and that is more games in the league phase than the Conference League does. It's an extra 2 games. I don't know. I don't think it probably won't happen, but I just have this inkling, which leads me to 17th place. The team surviving is Coventry City. 17th would be fantastic for them. If they survive, brilliant. They've basically kept, to my knowledge, their team from last season. They've got Rushworth permanently. Tuchauna, I don't know how to say it, from Burnley. I thought he was a decent little player last season in the Premier League. Gustavo Harm is back. They've signed quite a nice amount of players, you know. Tyro Awonyi as well. He is here from Forest. I think 17th place is pretty respectable. I mean, the home game is going to be the important one. Obviously tonight, Arsenal away. I don't know. You never know. I don't think they'll win. I think they'll lose 2-1, but you never know. Super Frankie Lampard. I think he can do it. Now, 60th place. So last season, I predicted these guys to finish 18th. I thought they were going to get relegated. But they blew everything out of the water, and they finished 7th. Yes, they finished 7th. Sunderland. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable what they achieved. That is just superb. Europa League football. Now, again, look, this is going to seem very low, but I just think with Europe, it's going to take a toll on them. Last season, they could just focus on the Premier League. This season, 8-game league phase in Europa League. It's going to be fantastic for them. I'm so excited for them. I'm going to watch as many of their games in Europe as I can. But it's going to take their toll. I don't think they've got the squad for it. But I still see them surviving. I don't know why they wouldn't survive. You know? Let's look at the signings they've made. So that's the only kind of bit of a worrying thing. Only main signing is Thomas Meunier. 34 years old now. Again, it was 10 years ago. Fantastic for him. They just really not really signed anyone. But they've got a squad that can be trusted. They have a squad that can be trusted. So 16th place, I think is absolutely fair for them. Which leads us on to 15th place, and it's going to be their north-east counterparts. Newcastle upon Tyne. That was weird. I'm never doing that again. See, I'm not too fond of Newcastle. I'm not the biggest fan. This summer has been, a disaster. An absolute disaster for Newcastle. I actually feel bad. They've lost Sandro Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes, and Anthony Gordon. Their 3 best players, arguably, are gone. 2 of them are to Premier League rivals. We get 80 million for Anthony Gordon is sensational. I mean, yes, They have made 275 million from them. This is euros, by the way, because the website I'm looking at. Which is, I mean, yeah, fair play. That is sensational amount of money. The signings they've made, I mean, look, I'm not too clued up on these guys. I mean, like, again, I could be so wrong about this, but I just think it's been such a damaging summer for them. Eddie Howe's also gone. I think that was coming. They've now replaced him with Matthias Yasil, I think. I don't know. I think it's going to be a long season. They don't have Europe, to my knowledge. No, they don't. They don't have Europe, which I think will help them, but I don't know. It's a rough one. It's a very, very rough summer. 40 players, and this is a team that quite a few people have said are going to get relegated, but I don't know. I honestly don't think they will. That team is Fulham. 14th place Fulham. I've seen a load of people say they're going to get 18th place and stuff. I just don't see that happening. I think they're quite a well tight-knit unit together. I mean, yes, look. Marco Silva's gone and Harry Wilson are gone. That's a rough duo to lose, but I don't know. I just think they're a really good team. They're tricky. Fulham are a very, very tricky team. And they've signed Gonzalo Garcia from Real Madrid. Shea Charles, that's a very good signing. They also got Cesar Palacios from Real Madrid. It's like a joint deal with him and Garcia. And they've also got, obviously, Alvaro Arbeloa, who was the Real Madrid manager last season, like interim. I think that's my only little, I don't know, it's my only little worry. Premier League is different gravy to La Liga. I mean, even with Real Madrid, he wasn't the best. He wasn't the best with Real Madrid. But I think this is going to be good for Fulham. I don't know. They've been great since they returned to the Premier League a couple of seasons ago, and like I said, I just don't see them in danger. Just don't see them in any danger at all. 13th place. Now this is a team that is just, I don't know. I put them basically in the exact same position last season. It's Everton. I don't know about Everton. Everton are a very they don't change. They've always been in the Premier League, but they just don't change. Now, I said last season that their home form was going to be crucial. They were terrible at home last season, in their new home. Absolutely abysmal. I mean, they were nowhere near in danger. I mean, their away form was fantastic. They were sensational away from home. But at home, they struggle. I'm hoping for them that this season they can kind of rectify that a bit. Brennan Johnson, I think, will be a really good signing for them. He's only 25 years old. They've got Roll permanently. Tyreek George, interesting one. Hayden Hackney from Middlesbrough, I think that's a really good signing. And Christian Norgard from Premier League champions Arsenal. I think they've made some really good signings. Obviously, they've lost Dwight McNeil. Seamus Coleman's now gone. Drew Segay is gone. But I think it's kind of what Everton needed. Again, I would not be surprised if they finish higher and get into the European spots. It would not surprise me at all. But I just think that this is right for them. I just think David Moyes is the manager that you're not going to drop, but you're going to kind of struggle to go up. Next up. So, last season I had these guys in 16th. For basically the first half of the season, it looked like they were destined to go down. They were basically nailed on the money. You are getting relegated. Leeds United. They turned it around big time. Because I remember seeing, I think everyone's seeing it, before either the Chelsea game or the Man City game, or the Liverpool game. I think it was before those three games. He's going to get sacked if the results don't improve. And everyone thought, well, he's done for those three games. It's not going to happen. They beat Chelsea 3-1. They drew 3-3 with Liverpool. I think they lost to City. I don't quite remember that game. But they just clicked. They did so well. Daniel Farke. What a manager. What a manager. And they've signed Harry Wilson from Fulham for free. I think he's going to be such a great signing for them. I've seen a few of their pre-season games. played very well. They have played very well. Ellen Road was a tough stadium. Like, that was such a tough stadium to go to last season. Teams were struggling. And I think it's just what they needed. Who else they signed? James Trafford. What? Yeah. He's going to be fantastic for him. Signed Miha Removic from Sassuolo, Bosnia, centre-back. I think he played at the World Cup. I just think, yeah, they're going to have a solid season. They've lost Pascal Strauch to Brighton. That's a bit of a damage. But I have positive feelings about Leeds United this season. I really do. Next up now, if you've seen my last few of these, you'll know that I always get this team wrong. I always get them so wrong, and I feel like a lot of people do. Last season, I predicted this team to finish 17th place. They finished 9th. Because I am such a moron when it comes to this team. It's Brentford. Brentford was so close to Europe last season. I was just so convinced. Thomas Frank's gone. You lost Mbuemo, you lost Norgard, etc., etc. You're not finishing high. You're going to survive, you're not finishing high. And they got Keith Andrews in. Wow. They were really good. They've made more smart signs. You know what Brentford are like. They're clever. They know how to get things done. Igor Thiago was just sensational. Was it 20-odd goals he scored? It's just, yeah. I would be surprised if they finish any higher this season. I think they're just always a... There you go. They're always just a tricky team. They just beat people. I mean, they beat us last season. They beat Liverpool. Drew against Arsenal. I think City beat them. They've always just been a tricky team. Always been a tricky team. And this season, Brentford, I'm doing you a favour. I think you're going to finish high up this season. I swear to God, if you get relegated, I'll be mad. Just saying. I will be mad. Yeah, Brentford, 11th place. Next, I said Sunderland were the surprise team of last season. I think these guys were the surprise team of last season. Maybe 10 is a bit low for them. You don't know. Bournemouth. Wow, I love Bournemouth. I love everything about Bournemouth. But again, similar to Sunderland, Europe is just going to be a little bit too much for their squad. I would say they're mine off the league a bit, but like I said, I just think they're clever. They know what they're doing. Antonio Silva for £20 million, by the way. Sensational bit of business. I'm pretty sure Man United won him for about 80 a couple of years ago. But last week the news came out that Krupi is expected to be out for a couple of months, which is going to be, I think it's going to be a bit of a damage for the start of their season. But Bournemouth, I'm loving everything about you. Would not surprise me if you finished higher as well. Hell, win the Europa League. Do it. Get into the Champions League. Please do that. I want to see it happen. Right. Into the upper half of the Premier League. We have Nottingham Forest. They are my 9th place team. I mean, you can see which teams are left down there. For Nottingham Forest, you are my 9th place team. Oliver Glasner. I was not expecting him to go to Nottingham Forest. I thought he was going to go to AC Milan. But I just think it's such a dagger to Crystal Palace fans. Like I said, what happened last summer between Palace and Forest, it was nasty. You lose your manager to him. And Forest, they're a club that are willing to spend money. They are willing to spend money. I mean, a couple of seasons ago in the Nuno, it looked like they were going to get Champions League football. They were second for a very long time a couple of seasons ago. In the Europa League, got to the semi-finals last season. Lost to Aston Villa, which is very damaging. But Forest, I'm just loving everything about you. Ousmane Diomande from Sporting. What a signing. What a signing that is. They have obviously lost Elliot Anderson, but they got 135 million euros for him. I think Elliot Anderson's great. 135 million, I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. But yes, they got a lot of money. They've made some great signings. If they keep Gibbs White, I don't see why they can't finish higher than 9th. Chris Wood, if he stays fit, Igor Jesus, he's been great in pre-season. This could be a sensational season for Nottingham Forest. The best is yet to come for him. Anyway, 8th place. Now, 8th place is a team that's always kind of been... They've been close to my heart, mainly due to family ties. And I watched a game at this stadium a couple of years ago. They played Ipswich Town in the Championship, 1-1. So you can probably guess who it is. It's Brighton and Hove Albion. Again, a team that... They've been in the Premier League for... I think this is their 9th season now, I want to say. Yeah, I think it's their 9th season in the Premier League. 9th or 10th, I actually don't know. One of the only teams to never be relegated in Premier League history. And they're just... Who knows what they're going to do? Who knows what they're going to do this season? I think they're going to win the Conference League. That's exactly what I think are going to happen to Brighton. And last season, I said that Brighton were going to finish 6th. And at the time, that seemed like such a bold shout. And it looked like they were going to. And the last day, they slipped down. They got into 8th place, which was a Conference League spot in the end. But yeah, Brighton and Hove Albion. 8th place, I think you're going to finish 8th again. You're going to win the Conference League. I love the signing of Vuskovic. I love that signing to bits. He was on my radar a couple of years ago. I don't know why Tottenham have got rid of him. I really don't know why, but yeah, I think that's a great signing. Pascal Struijk as well. They have lost Danny Welbeck. They've lost Jan-Paul van Hecker as well. But Brighton always get the business done. They know what they're doing, just like Brentford and Bournemouth. They know how to get things done. Into the Europa Conference League spot. Obviously, this can change over the season, but for now, it's a Conference League spot. That is going to go to Tottenham Hotspur. Yes. See, again, I hate predicting Tottenham because nothing ever goes to plan. Last season, I said Tottenham were going to finish 9th. Because I thought that would be respectable. Especially considering the season before. Little did I know they were going to finish 17th. Again, 2 seasons on the bounce. 17th place for Tottenham. I can't believe it. But they survived. Thank God for them they survived. Roberto De Zerbi, he's a good manager. He's a really good manager. They're going to get him ticking, I think. Because, yeah, I just think Tottenham, they're a team that either overperform or underperform. I don't think anyone ever gets Tottenham right. No one does. No one ever will. Sandro Tonali, Mateus Fernandes, and Jan-Paul van Hecker. Fantastic Premier League proven signings. But I just... I don't see why Tottenham won't do well. But I have no idea. It could go wrong very quickly again. But they spent the money. Probably spent it wisely. Maybe a bit too much in some places. But surely you can't finish lower than 7th, guys. At least not 17th. Not again. Not again. 6th place. Now, I think the top 6 I've been wanting to change a bit. But, well, I'm going to have to do it now. In 6th place in the Europa League spot. It could go to a Premier League spot. You don't. Not to a Premier League spot. It could go to a Champions League spot. But for now, it's Europa League spot. Might be a bit harsh. Last season, I predicted these guys to finish 2nd place. They finished 10th. Chelsea. Yes, I know what you're going to say. A lot of people have put Chelsea in that top 3. I just don't know. Xabi Alonso. Fantastic manager. Absolutely fantastic manager. I thought he was going to go to Liverpool. Honestly surprised he didn't go to Liverpool. Which must be a bit heartbreaking for Liverpool fans that he's now at Chelsea. But he is just entering into a world of chaos. Last season was a disaster for him. £300 million they've spent so far. And we know how that's worked for Chelsea before. It hasn't. But what I also will say, losing Enzo Maresca was the dumbest thing they could have ever done. It was stupid. There was no point. No point to doing it. But anyway, that's the past now. No need to reminisce on it. The signings they've made. Morgan Rogers for 138 million euros. Again, Morgan Rogers, I think he's sensational. 138 million? I don't know. But he's going to be a great signing for him. Maxence Lacroix from Crystal Palace. Quenda from Sporting. Valentin Barco, I hope he fails drastically. We all saw the World Cup. I hope Enzo Fernandez gets booed everywhere he goes. Danny Welbeck from Brighton is very, very interesting signing. Jordan Henderson as well. I honestly forgot. Jordan Henderson plays for Chelsea now. What is going on? I don't understand the signings they've made. They're just so weird. But who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? Andre Santos, he's gone to Man United. Marc Cucurella, he's gone to Real Madrid. Garnacho's gone to Villa on a loan. I think what they need the most, though, they need Cole Palmer back in form. If he gets back in form, who knows? Could be even better for Chelsea. But for now, they don't have Europe either. They do not have Europe. That's a key thing. They don't have Europe. Let's just see. Let's just see how things go for Chelsea. 5th place. I don't know about this one. Actually, no, screw it. Again, I'm not changing anything. I am not changing anything. 5th place. Which, well, let's be honest, it's going to be a Champions League spot. Liverpool. I hate Liverpool. You know I hate Liverpool. But they just haven't strengthened. They have not strengthened, like, at all. Really. I mean, they've signed Jeremy Jacquet and Victor Munoz. I don't know. They've got Ronald Araujo from Barcelona on a loan, but Barcelona fans don't seem to like him. So I don't know. But Robertson's gone, Konate's gone, Salah's gone. They've lost a lot of leadership in that team. I mean, yeah, you've still got Alisson and Van Dijk, but they're getting on. They are getting on a bit. I don't know. I'm a little bit worried for him. I think Andoni Iraola is a superb manager, but I have this inkling it's going to be a bit like Graham Potter and Eric Ten Hag. Sensational for these other clubs. Then they go for the big boy job. You start off well. Then you crumble, and then that manager's reputation is just ruined. Liverpool, I don't know. I'm really sorry. But it does look like they're going to be getting Bradley Barcola. That would be an interesting change. Could maybe rise them a bit, but Liverpool, sorry, 5th place for you guys. Especially after last season as well. I thought you were going to win the league again with the signings you made, Wirtz, Isak, but no. 5th place again, I'm afraid. 4th place. Now, this is a really interesting team to predict because they should be up there. I mean, although last season I actually had them down for 4th place, they ended up finishing 2nd. And arguably they did bottle the title. I honestly think they bottled the title. They could have so had it from Arsenal, but Manchester City, you threw that away. You were the bottle jobs last season. I'm sorry, but you were. But a new era has finally dawned at the Etihad after 10 years. Pep Guardiola, he's gone. He's out. It is over. He's finished. Alongside that, Bernardo Silva, Manuel Akanji, Ake, John Stones, they're all gone. But look, Enzo Maresca. We saw what he did at Chelsea. Chelsea were really good under him. And he was always going to go to Man City. We knew it. I think Chelsea fans weren't too happy about that. But we knew he was going to end up at Man City. I mean, if he stayed at Chelsea last season, he was just going to leave at the end of the season anyway. Although that Community Shield defeat against Arsenal, it's a bit worrying that. But Community Shield curse. Only one team in like the last 10 to 15 years has won the Premier League after winning the Community Shield. It was Man City, but that was 7 years ago. So who knows? Who knows? Again, Elliot Anderson, £128 million. Again, I think he's a fantastic player. That much money though? Yikes. I loved him for England at the World Cup, but yeah. Haaland, if he stays fit, goals galore. But if he gets injured, I worry for them. I actually worry for them. Third place. Now, you may know that one team is still in there. That team are the Europa League holders, Aston Villa. Yes, I think they're going to finish third place, which might be a bit silly. Because when I did this, they didn't lose as many players as they now have. But yes, this is just a bit of a wild card guess. They are the Europa League holders. Unai Emery just makes things click. But they always find a way. They always find a way, Aston Villa. And I don't see why they won't again. Back in the Champions League, they have lost Morgan Rogers. They have lost Euro Tielemans. It looks like Ollie Watkins could also potentially be leaving, which is not ideal. But if they keep him, it'd be great. They've made a few good signings. Zion Suzuki, the goalkeeper, I think that's a really good signing. João Gomes from Wolves, very decent signing. Garnacho on loan. It looks like they're also getting Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I think that'll be a really good signing for him. But yeah, third place, why not? Go for it, lads. Now, the two teams left, very reminiscent of early 2000s, late 90s Premier League rivalry. I was too young to witness that, unfortunately. Who am I predicting to win the Premier League? Now, I don't think I've ever predicted either of these teams to win the Premier League. Last season, I predicted Man United to finish 7th, which I thought was very unbiased. We finished 3rd. Fantastic second half of the season. Arsenal, however, I said would have finished 3rd. They won it. Because I thought, and as I wrote, that they were going to be found out. They weren't found out. They got away with everything. Who is going to win the Premier League? Oh my God. And I said that there would be 2 wildcard predictions. So let's start off with second place. The team finishing second place is going to be... who's it going to be? I know who it is, I'm just trying to build suspense. But as I've put on my notes here, the team in second place, I think are going to win the FA Cup and the Champions League. That team's going to be Arsenal. Yes. Arsenal are going to be second place. Why? I think that early season is going to be their big blow. So if you remember a couple of seasons ago, their start of season, it was rough. But then they just clicked into gear. I think that's going to happen again. Saliba is out for a long time. Rice and Saka have been playing a lot. I think they're going to have some problems in that area. I think there's going to be a lot of injuries. I do genuinely think there's going to be a lot of injuries. Especially to their main players. You know, like Rice, Saka, Gabriel. They've been playing a lot. They haven't had rest. But Bruno Guimaraes, okay. That's a good Rice replacement for a bit. Leandro Trossard's gone. Now that one surprised me because he was a very clutch player last season for him. He won them that title with that goal against West Ham. But, I don't know. I just think that early season form is going to be their downfall. And, well, you know who I'm going to pick to win the Premier League. I've never picked them to win the Premier League in any of these predictions. Have I? That might be wrong, actually. The team, as you know, I'm going to predict to win the Premier League is Man United. Oh, I'm deluded, but I love it. Oh, I really don't know. Okay, right. Let's talk about this. Michael Carrick. I was unsure when he came in early January. Because I'm not going to lie, when Amorim got sacked, I was actually very angry about it. Because the board were just winding me up. And I think this is the kind of thing that happens. We get a manager, then we go into this form, and everyone's like, oh my God, yeah, it's the best. But Michael Carrick was a little bit different. whenever we get kind of like these ex-players who return as managers, they're all like, oh, you know, linked to the Class 92 and stuff. Michael Carrick's a bit different. He's very different in that. I know his time at Middlesbrough wasn't great. They probably should have been promoted on a couple of those seasons. But that opening game against Man City, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Then going to the Emirates and winning. Beating Liverpool again. Beating Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Dispatching Tottenham comfortably. Beating Villa at home. We won a lot of games. And in the second half of last season, we were the best team in the league. I mean, yeah, we were. We got the most points out of anyone in the league. We were the only team that didn't lose back-to-back games. Again, look, you can disagree with me all you want, because I really don't believe in myself here. But I don't know. I really don't know. Santos and Tielemans, I think they're great signings. And it looks like we're going to get Carlos Balibra now as well. That's 3 fantastic midfield signings. My only worry is the defence. Martinez can't stay fit. Maguire is great, but sometimes isn't the most reliable. De Ligt has been out injured for about, over a year. Well, not over a year. At least 10 months. It looks like we're going to get a left back. I don't see why we can't win it. I really don't see why we can't win it. We're in the Champions League as well. I don't know. I'm a little bit worried that this could be a humiliating prediction. I'm not one of those fans where, you know, after the game the other day we lost 4-2 to AC Milan. I was the one who was like, this is outrageous. I'm never going to be one of those kind of people. It's pre-season, things just happen like that. I don't know. I don't see why we can't win the title. That is my belief. This season, it's been 13 years. It'll be 14 years at the end of this season. The last time we won it. So there you go. I think Man United are going to win the Premier League. I think Palace, Ipswich and Hull are going down. I think Arsenal are going to win the Champions League and the FA Cup. And I've also put that City are going to win the League Cup, because why not? But anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully I return back in May, June time with a massive smile on my face. If not, then everything went completely wrong. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you want more like this, watch the ones for the previous years, or subscribe to the main channel, which is nothing like this kind of stuff. Anyway, enjoy, have a good day, and roll on the Premier League.